Hey YouTube, Jim here. Welcome to Top 10 Archive. Figuring out a serial killer is no easy task, which is probably why they're so interesting to normal people. What made them snap? How did they feel when they were committing those acts? And most importantly, can we prevent people from becoming this way in the first place? For those of you who have delved into Ted Bundy, you'll know he was a bright, charming, handsome man with great potential. So, what went wrong? Today we'll be looking at the lesser-known and newly surfaced images of one of the most infamous serial killers in history. Here are 10 creepy new photos of Ted Bundy. Number 10. Vacationing in Utah. At first glance, this photo may seem pretty normal, but hey, nothing's normal when you're someone like Ted Bundy. This picture of Ted with girlfriend Liz and her daughter Molly was taken in Ogden, Utah in 1970, just a few years before he started his brutal killings. Elizabeth Kendall was a divorced mother who worked as a receptionist at the University of Washington when she met the handsome Bundy, with whom she would share a relationship for 7 years. It also means he was very much with her while on his killing spree. We can only imagine that Liz must have wondered how easily she or her daughter could have also been one of his victims. Number 9. Representing in court. For some reason, many killers end up thinking they don't need lawyers and try to defend themselves, believing they did nothing wrong. It's what makes men like Ted Bundy so dangerous. Ted Bundy appeared in court dressed casually in a t-shirt and jacket as a clear message of how little he cared for the system. A former law student, he was adamant about defending himself during his trials, where he even briefly considered a plea deal over the Chi Omega killings. Bundy made a mockery of the court by making useless requests, like asking the judge for a typewriter and time to go exercise. He even filed a motion to have his menu changed, saying he was sick of eating grilled cheese sandwiches. Number 8. After escaping from court. This picture of Ted Bundy was taken after he was caught when he escaped from Pitkin County Courthouse in Aspen on June 7, 1977. Since Bundy was defending himself, he was excused from wearing shackles and cuffs. While on a recess requesting to go to the court's library to research his case, Bundy jumped out of the window and took off. He managed a futile exercise of running from the law for a week where, if you ask me, he would have been more comfortable in jail. Bundy's 6-day escape included getting lost in the forest, breaking and entering log cabins and trailers to steal food. It ended after he stole a car from Aspen Golf when his poor driving skills attracted police officers. Number 7. Sipping beer on courthouse steps. This could well have been Ted Bundy's last famous photo taken on the steps of the courthouse in 1980. One of Bundy's most brutal crimes was when he broke into the Chi Omega sorority house at Florida State University on January 15, 1978, and murdered Margaret Bowman and Lisa Levy. He even attacked 3 other women who fortunately survived. His final evil act was murdering Kimberly Leach, a 12-year-old girl. It was these murders that got him finally convicted in a 4-day hearing where Judge G. Kendall Sharp dismissed Ted's defense that he was incompetent to defend himself at his initial trial, saying he was under the influence of drugs. Number 6. Ted, Carol Boone, and daughter Rose Bundy. Is it even possible that a photograph like this portrays a murderer who was convicted of killing 30 women? Well, investigators believed there were many more. This image is of Ted Bundy, his wife Carol, and daughter Rose. In fact, their marriage itself was quite the enigma, as Carol, who knew Bundy was being tried as a serial killer, was never afraid of her life. In fact, she was so enamored by him, she even appeared as a character witness for him during his trial. Number 5. Ted and girlfriend Liz. Elizabeth Kendall may have been Bundy's girlfriend for many years, but she admits she had no idea he was a serial killer. The photo could be that of any happy couple, yet it's not. When Kendall was interrogated by police, she provided valuable insight into Bundy's behavior. She explained how she would find women's clothing in the house that didn't belong to her. She even revealed how Ted told her he was consumed by a force he could not quite understand, which compelled him to kill. After 40 years, Kendall and her daughter Molly shared never-seen-before material and photos of Ted Bundy in a tell-all documentary titled Ted Bundy, Falling for a Killer, in which she provided several details of their private life. These photographs were two of many shared by Elizabeth. Number 4. Just Waking Up. This photograph was taken by Elizabeth Kendall in Green Lake, Seattle in 1971, several years before Ted became a serial killer. She captioned the photo, "An unhappy Ted who just woke up from a nap." It indicated how Ted suffered mood swings, a fact that was verified by psychiatrist Dr. Dorothy Lewis, who believed that Bundy suffered a bipolar mood disorder. Number 3. The jury delivering their verdict. This photo was taken at the precise moment when Ted Bundy was convicted by the jury. He always seemed calm and composed, but oblivious of the significance of what was about to happen to him. While the jury was declaring their verdicts, he had his back turned to them the entire time and only turned around at one point to tell the jury their verdict was wrong. Witnesses say he also seemed a bit anxious and pensive, perhaps even pondering his next move. Number 2. Always Smiling. These photographs were clicked by the media after Leon County Sheriff Ken Katsaris informed Ted Bundy of his indictment and during his trial. A man who confessed to 30 homicides and a man who knew he would be receiving the death sentence was not all that perturbed, and all because he was under the delusion that he'd walk free. He smirked at the cameras and was often heard saying he was innocent. Al Carlisle, a Utah State prison psychologist, remarked how Bundy came across as an enigma and a very different person, making it hard to believe he was such a calculating, remorseless killer. Carlisle's deduction was summed up in these words: he believes he's smarter than everybody else and that he's going to play the pieces right and win the chess game. Number 1. Ted Bundy executed. The image that many Americans clearly wanted to see: Ted Bundy well and truly dead. What was really grim about one of America's most notorious murderers was the fact that he was described smiling after being declared dead, which is nothing short of eerie. Bundy was executed by electrocution in Florida State Prison on January 24, 1989, more than 10 years after he had committed his gruesome murders. Eyewitness accounts say that the last thing he did was call his mother and did not eat his dinner served to him the night before. Theodore Robert Bundy was declared dead at 7:16 a.m. after 2,000 volts of electricity coursed through his body. Bundy's brain was sent for research to check for injuries or anomalies that could explain his mental state, but found nothing out of the ordinary. To this day, no expert has figured out what drove Bundy to become one of the worst murderers the world has ever seen. Thanks for watching. Did you learn anything new about Ted Bundy from these photos and descriptions? Let us know in the comments. You can become a serial viewer of more videos from Top 10 Archive by subscribing, ringing the notifications bell, and if you think you can get away with it, be sure to give this video a like and share it with friends.